Hello, everyone. I can't see you, but you can see me as you trickle in. Welcome to our first Customer Talks event with Alison Porter. I can't see anyone that's coming in here. I'm just trusting people are entering the room. If you can find the chat in the upper right-hand side of your window, feel free to drop your name and the organization you're with and maybe where you're located and say hi. We'll get started in about 2 minutes. We're going to let people join. If you're just now joining, there is a chat feature in the window to the upper right-hand side. Feel free to introduce yourself, where you're from, what organization you're with, where you're joining from as we wait for people. Jordan, welcome Jordan from Project Broadcast. Thanks, Jordan. I'm Taylor. I'm from Folsom, California, and I run community here at Project Broadcast. If you've seen Project Broadcast commenting more in the community, that is me. We're excited to kick this off. I'm going to wait about 30 more seconds. Once again, if you're just joining, there is a chat button in the upper right-hand side of your window if you want to introduce yourself and let us know where you're joining from. Jordan's just soloing it up here. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. We're so excited to kick off this new series that we are hosting out of our Project Broadcast community called Customer Talks. Today we have Alison Porter, who is a Project Broadcast pro. She's been using Project Broadcast for about 5 years. For herself, she has been using Project Broadcast to grow her clientele and engage with them through at JuicePlus. She's been with Juice Plus. It sounds like we're coming up on 19 or 20 years, which is amazing. I know some of her Juice Plus team is probably joining today, but we're really excited to have Allison. She is a pro at using landing pages, and that's why we're here today. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking. I'm going to let her kind of talk about herself and her background, but feel free. We're not going to have a live Q&A portion for this event, but we do want to know what questions you have on your mind, what we can help answer. So feel free once again to use the chat. There's a little button in the upper right-hand side of the window where you can drop your questions, and we will either answer them live in the chat or we will follow up after. Also, as you're watching this event, this, like I said, is the first in a series of customer talks. If you can think of other topics you'd like for us to cover, feel free to throw that in the chat as well, and we'll try to use those ideas to inform future events in our series. So I will be back at the end, but I'm going to hand it over to Allison, and thank you everyone for joining.
Okay, thank you, Taylor. So I'm just going to start by saying that you do not have to be a tech pro to use PB landing pages, because I have been struggling with my tech for the last 20 minutes. I don't have my notes because I can't get them, and that's okay. We're just going to roll with it. So that is me being serious. I really have no technical background at all, and it is one reason I love Project Broadcast landing pages so much. I started creating them when I realized that they allowed me to put multiple things into one link to totally transition how simple I could send communication to people. So instead of sending this, that, and the other, I am able to put everything in one link and give them the information that they're requesting that answers their questions, a link to order potentially, all in one place. So I love the Project Broadcast landing pages. I do not have time to tell you everything that I want to tell you today, so I have a really great guide that I created that I'm going to share with you at the end, and you'll get access to everything that I wanted to talk about today that I didn't have time for, and I'm just so thankful to be here. So yes, I've been with Juice Plus for 19 years. I was looking for a way to run my business without texting from my phone, and that's when I found Project Broadcast. And oh my gosh, much more than that. Look here. 1 second, shut something down here. with tech issues all week. So it's been so much more than that for me. It's been a fantastic tool that has allowed me to be more organized in my business. I, I always tell people, even if you pay for it just to do the simple things like keeping notes on clients or prospects, or tagging people to stay organized, or sending messages that you can schedule, it's worth $18 a month or whatever. Don't quote me on the price. I think that's about where we are. It's worth it. However, you really get into some complex strategies with Project Broadcast, and I don't want that to scare you. I just want you to know it's worth it no matter how you're using it, and it can do so much more than the basics. So yes, I got started as a way to text from my computer. I had no idea what was possible with Project Broadcast. I'd never seen anything like it. We ended up as a team investing in some content that someone created for our team, and my hair was blown away. My hair was blown back with what was possible, and the team is so good to work with. I've never worked with another company who is so invested in helping us to be successful. They're accessible, they're quick to respond, they're friendly, and so you all that are here could not be in better hands with Project Broadcast. I love the program. So we're going to talk about landing pages today. When I first started learning about Project Broadcast, I wanted to learn everything that there was to know, and they have a great tool for that. They have their web school, and it's great training, but I wasn't sure how to apply it to my business. So I saw landing pages, and I was like, okay, this is neat. What am I going to do with that? And I started to mess around and create a landing page, and let me see if I can advance my slide here. Okay, I want to make sure, one second here, everybody, that you can see my picture, which I don't really need to show that. I just want to make sure that my slides are advancing. So Taylor, could you unmute and let me know that my slide is?
Yes,
Okay,
I
great.
see. Yeah, I see you.
Okay, thank you so much. Perfect. Now, okay, so I want to share with you the little bit about how I got started with landing pages. I went into the tool where you can create them, and I started messing around, and I created the most hideous, ugly landing page you'll ever see in your life. And I'm like, what would I ever do with this? How will I use a landing page? How do I make it pretty? And boy, I figured that out, and I'm here to talk about that today. So first, let me tell you what a landing page is. A landing page is a personal, mobile-friendly mini website. They're easy to create. They're super user-friendly. It's not like back when I took like office classes in high school where we had to code to actually build a website. This is for anybody. Anybody can do this. And so 3 reasons I love it. It leverages my time. My biggest number one core value is flexibility. That's why I like network marketing. That's why I do the career that I do. I love my flexibility and my time freedom. So if I can leverage my time and work smarter, not harder, I know that's cliche, but it's so true, then that is what I'm going to do. Also, I love the way that we can look professional with landing pages. We have there's so many templates to choose from. Everybody can have their own style. I love that I have a girl on my team whose colors are bright and bold and hot pink and black, and mine are all muted and soft. And she does her thing her way, and I do my thing my way, and we're both selling the same products. And I love the creativity that this industry offers. I would like to see in the chat, if you're in network marketing, type that in the chat. And if you're with another business, type that in the chat. I just kind of want to know who I'm speaking here with today. I can't see anyone, so I just feel like I'm talking to myself. So I'd love some chat engagement. Professionalism and credibility. I love that part about the landing pages. And then conversion and clarity. What I mean by that, a fancy way to say, is I don't want them Googling things that I want to be in control of information that I send. I don't want someone Googling and looking for answers that I could provide, because I want to be the resource, and I want to be the one to share the information about my product, because I know that they can find all kinds of stuff out there that aren't true, that I don't want them to see. And then they might get confused, and I don't want that. So I love that we can keep them in our bubble and share the information that we want. So I want to give you a couple of, actually, before I do this, I want to show you some of my landing pages. I use them for a variety of reasons. So let's look at the first one. This is the one that I started with. Now, it didn't look like this. Remember, I said it was the ugliest thing ever. But this product, we have a very narrow product line, and this is one of our protein shakes. This particular product is a wonderful product that I can sample. I've got these single serve packs that I can hand out, and I give those to people or I mail them. If I've got a customer that orders other products and they want to try them, or a prospect, I can send these in the mail or I can give them out when I'm out and about. So that's all fine and good, but samples can end up on the bottom of the mail pile sometimes. And I wanted to find a way that they would actually use them. And so just as a side note, I put them into a cellophane bag with some shredded paper. I have a picture of it in a minute. And I print some recipe cards with a QR code to my landing page. So I'll show you that in a sec. And then the QR code leads to this landing page. And that is the place. This is the video I want them to see because I want them to know the benefits. And these are the ways that they can use it. Then there are links to other landing pages. These are all graphics made in Canva. You don't have to be creative like this. You don't have to go all out like this. This is just my preference because you can use the templates provided. But these all link to other landing pages. And then I've got my story in here, my contact info, a link to shop, and some other information. So this is everything that I wanted my people to get when I handed out a sample. So that was my first landing page. It's come a long way, evolved a lot since I created my first one, but this is the first product that I created it for. So another example of a landing page, and just to point out, there's a link up here at the top. This isn't a website like where you're going to find it in a search engine. This is a link that you have control over sharing. So these are created in Project Broadcast. The next one this is an older one that I made. This is for joining my team. So I've got a little bit more information about who I help. And I've got my story in here. And then I have some information for people who might be looking for something like this, especially based on why I was doing it. I really brainstormed that. These can be as simple or as complex as you want them to be, but these are the ones that I use. And then I have some pictures in here. Again, this was created in Canva and brought over into Project Broadcast, which means that you can take something, everyone can be as creative as they want or as simple as they want here. And then I have a video link in here with a little bit of information about our products and a family story here with a link to contact me. Again, this is using Project Broadcast. They can actually text me through my landing page. The next one I wanted to show you is a veggie. I have a newsletter, a team newsletter, and this is our place for news, events, offers, recognition, and opportunities.
Hey,
So
Allison.
yes. Oh, I'm not sharing.
Taylor.
Yeah, I'm
No,
not
it's not
sharing.
advancing. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, thank
everyone.
you. I just went through. Let me show you my veggie dealer. My last one that I did not do, that you didn't see as I was talking about it. This is the one I was just talking about. This is my team newsletter page for team prospects. So I just spent 5 minutes on it and didn't realize you couldn't see it. Sorry about that. So like I was saying, all of these you could create in Canva and bring them over. And then I've got a link to my story, some product information, and then some family information. And right here, this link, this button, would take them to text me via Project Broadcast. Okay, the next one is the newsletter. This is something that I create because we communicate on Voxer in our business, but I have a lot of people that work full-time jobs, raise kids. They're just busy. I know all of you do too on your teams and in your businesses. So they're not always paying attention to everything. So this is something that I've created to put together where they can get the news, the events, the offers. I do recognition here, and then they've got opportunities. So everything in here in this landing page is for my team. And these links can be emailed, they can be texted. I've got all of our events written in here, our next conference, and then some business development links as well. So these are just ideas on how you can use landing pages in your business. I want to show you one more because this is a lead magnet landing page. So I'm just trying to give you all ideas on, I know you're not all in the health and wellness industry. I know you all have different things that you do, but a lead magnet landing page could be anything for your industry. And this one in particular is about DIYing your own seasoning blends. And I talk about why that is. I actually create campaigns with drip messages. That's another training for another day, but they educate on this concept, and then the landing page is a component of the campaign that they can click on. And this is where they're going to get all of the recipes and how to use them, and then got links to more recipes, like actual. So we've got a seasoning blend recipe, how to use them, and then a link to how to actually use it in a meal. So this is a lead magnet landing page. So this is a lot of value that wraps up at the end with how JuicePlus fits into the picture here. So those are super fun to use as well. Okay, now I want to talk to you about how to use the landing pages once you've created them. So this is a social media story that I created. I was talking about how I made my own almond milk and how simple it was. And I showed some video clips of that process. And then it led into how I use my almond milk to make a smoothie and how the smoothie is so delicious and so good for you and all these things. And then I take my landing page and I link it into my story right here so that they can click and go to my landing page. So that's one idea of using your landing pages. Another one I just mentioned is customer care. So I created a series of messages, of text messages that go to my new customers. As you get a new customer, I put them into a campaign. Like I said, a topic for another day, but they get a message that they get a drip message. This is the first message that goes out on day 0, which is the day that I add them. And then I'm basically helping them get set up to properly use the products and get off to the right foot. And this message here has a landing page link. And so it says, if you're interested in learning how the berries complement the fruits and veggies, you can learn more here. And that is a link to a landing page about the berries. So as I mentioned earlier, I've got one on every product that we have. And then sometimes they all link together as well. So idea is to insert those into your customer care campaigns. I also use them on graphics and flyers. So this graphic, you also notice that as the first image in my landing page, but this is something that I print and frame and take to events. So this is an actual image that will be displayed at an in-person event, and they can scan the QR code to learn more, and that takes them to my landing page. The next one, as I mentioned, I give out samples in these little cellophane bags. Inside that sample is a graphic that is printed on professional paper. I actually created this and then had a professional printer print those. They're 4x4s. They're double-sided, so I have 2 vanilla recipes, one on each side, and then I have a separate one for chocolate recipes, one on each side. They can scan the code and it will take them to my landing page. So this is something I might send someone in the mail. I might hand it to them in person. I might send it just for fun. I don't know, various ways that you hand out samples, but this would be another way that they would get back to my landing page. I just showed you the lead generation idea, so you can create something that is of interest to your audience and that they can opt in for. You can use it to collect their information. You can use it to add value and share more information about your services or your products. Now I want to show you quickly how to get started to create a landing page, because it's very simple inside. I'm going to actually advance to the next slide first and then go back. So if you go into Project Broadcast and go down to Content, I have everything circled here, and then to the landing page area, that's where you're going to create a landing page. And then it's going to look like this. You're going to be able to do a blank template or choose from any of these designs. So I just chose the one that I liked the best, and I changed the colors to the colors that I wanted to use. Everything is customizable. If you want to totally customize it, you can start from scratch. That's the one I created the first time that looked horrible because I didn't know what I was doing. So I highly recommend that you, if you're a beginner, you just go with a pre-designed layout that you can just fill in. It's quick and easy, and it gives you ideas. You can delete anything you don't like or add to it or change anything that you want. Also, you can clone landing pages. So let's say that you get a landing page set up that you love, or that you have branded with your colors, your fonts, your logo, whatever it is. Then you can go ahead, every time you make a new one, you can choose to clone the landing page and rename it to something different, so that whenever it's time to create a new one, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from something that you've already done before. This one saves a ton of time. Now, we talked a little bit about sharing your landing page. I talked about where you can share that, where on social media, on a QR code. This is the area where you will actually find the information that you need to grab that URL or to grab that QR code. You can download it straight from there. Now, when I started Project Broadcast, there was no QR code, and we had to create our own. Now it's here, and they like I said, they just keep improving what they offer to us. So you can go right in there, right under the landing page, and grab your URL. You can save that to your phone so that it's easy to use. I always say you can save it to a Project Broadcast template, but really you don't need to because it's already in Project Broadcast. You can insert that into a message to use a QR code. URLs are perfect for the social media post to insert into text or emails. You can put it on a website if you have a different website, or in digital ads like on Facebook if you want to have someone click the link. And then the QR codes are great for printed materials, like I just showed you my printed material that goes on my samples, plus when I set up a display, you can put them on event banners, any kind of physical signage. So that allows people to scan and access your QR code. Now, if you noticed, I have the page numbers are off. I'm sure some of you are all like, we're out of order, but we're really not. All the ones that you didn't see are in the bonus material that I have for you. And if one of you ladies could post this in the chat, Taylor or Jordan, for me, the keyword that you need to text is bonus to my number is 573-307-6573. I have a landing page, of course, created with all of this information, plus multiple pages that I didn't have time to show you, with other tips and tricks and some kind of work ideas of processing through what you might want to create with your landing page. I know we're all in different industries, so that way that you can brainstorm a little bit and come up with your own ideas on what would work for your landing pages, plus all of the step-by-step on how to create them. There's a link to the Project Broadcast web training that they provide on creating landing pages, because there's so much that you can do with those. And there is also, if you're brand new and have never started Project Broadcast, maybe you're just checking it out, or you have an account and you don't know what the heck to do next. I hear that all the time. I have created a free fast track to getting started page as well. It's all going to be in your bonus material. It is a really easy, simple way to get started with Project Broadcast. How do you start? What message do you send first? What do you say? How do you get your contacts in if you have a back office with your company? So all of that information will be there. If you want to text bonus to 573-307-6573, you'll get that sent over right away. And just for fun, that is a keyword in Project Broadcast that automates the text series that comes. There's a configurable form in use there where you'll put your information, and then the landing page link will be sent. So I'm using all kinds of Project Broadcast features in that one bonus text. So I want to thank you all for joining today. I believe Project Broadcast can transform how we connect with our customers and prospects. So if you're interested in diving deeper and fully leveraging Project Broadcast, I teach in my JuicePlus community how to automate, simplify, and grow our business. I am expanding that to other network marketers and direct sellers. So I'm creating a wait list. This is another keyword that you can text to join the wait list. If you want access to my trainings, I will have, I usually do something once a year called Becoming Project Broadcast Savvy. I'll have another one coming up this year where I go into detail on my 4 favorite pieces of project broadcast. One of them is landing pages. The other 3, you'll have to wait and see. So if you want to get on the list to join those free trainings, you are welcome to do that. And again, text waitlist to 573-307-6573. And I hope that you all could hear me. I hope I had no tech issues today like I had all week. And I know we don't have time for questions today, but you all have my contact information.
Thank you, Allison. We could hear you. That was amazing. I think there was a little technical difficulty on our end with the chat, so I apologize to everyone. Someone is asking to repeat the phone number, so that's text bonus to 573-307-6573. This is actually in the chat section if you missed it, and that will give you access to Allison's landing page where she has all of the resources that she just listed. And if you're interested in joining her waitlist to work with her, text waitlist to 573-307-6573. I've also dropped a link in here. If you are not a Project Broadcast customer and you liked what you saw today, I love that you are using keywords. That's so meta, using keywords, which is a Project Broadcast feature in a Project Broadcast session. I love it. Eat your own dog food, right? Or someone said drink your own whiskey, which either one works.
Either way.
Yeah, either one. So thank you again, everyone, for joining. We are going to be sharing the recording and sending all of this in follow-up to you in the coming days by the end of the week for sure. Once again, this was our first time using GoToWebinar to host an event like this, so we appreciate you with your patience as we had some technical difficulties with the chat. We'll try to get that resolved before our next one. Our next session is going to be with someone named Tammy Osaiki, who has also been a Project Broadcast user for a while, and she's going to be talking about forms. So making configurable forms and embedding those into landing pages, which Allison has examples of in her takeaway, and then also just using surveys in creative ways to get to know your customers. So keep an eye out for an invite there. Otherwise, we will see you at the next one. We'll see you in the community, and please reach out to us if we can do anything to make your life better as a Project Broadcast customer. Thanks everyone for joining, and thanks, Allison.
Thank you.